Hi there, welcome to the farm. Today I'm going to talk to you about this wonderful plant in front of me, Comfrey. Just a quick note, we actually started this video a year ago and then we didn't get around to finishing it. We got busy with other stuff. And we've had a lot of people ask about Comfrey, so we're going to finish it today and you'll see the whole thing. Yeah, for those of you that watch, I know you'll notice my hair's short in the opening and it's not short now. So a year ago it was short, now it's not. So Comfrey, what is it? Well, in the permaculture world, it's known as a dynamic accumulator because it has like a 3-foot taproot. It goes way down in the soil and mines up minerals and things that most plants can't get. They don't go that deep. So there's all kinds of ways you can use that then in your garden. And I'm going to show you some of those today that I've already done. And I'm going to try some new ones too. So let's see where we go with it. Well, as you can see, our Comfrey is flowering. It has tons of little purple flowers on it. And I haven't done anything with it because I wanted to leave the flowers on. Now they're just about done blooming. So I think it's time to start doing some things with it. And one reason I leave the blooms on is because of how much the bees love it. Just looking right here, there's about 2 or 3 bumblebees on here right now. So they're looking a little worse for wear because when they get flowering, they start getting really too big and they flop out. So they all look kind of a little messy at this point. But the one thing we're going to be doing today is chopping it all off. Does that sound brutal? This plant is amazing because we will chop it today and within a week to 2 weeks, it's got a whole nother little batch of leaves coming out. It replenishes so fast. You can chop it maybe 3 more, maybe 4 or 5 times a season, depending on the plant. So I wait the longest for this one because I want the flowers to be on. So now these plants, there's a ton of them around me and they're all in our orchard. Now, I think a lot of people put them in their orchard. They're good for a couple reasons. They do draw in the pollinators and the whole 3-foot going down thing. It actually helps break up the soil and make the soil better for all the trees. Now, one thing we have to do today, we planted new fruit trees in the orchard and we have to plant some Comfrey between those fruit trees. We have it between the original 40, but we don't have it in the new ones yet. So, Donnie's gonna come in and chop up this. And then we're gonna show you some of the reasons we grow it and especially how we use it in the orchard.
All right, the boss says it's time for these to go, and that's what I'm gonna do. So before I do that, I've tried many different ways to cut these out, including from a lawnmower, and I have a heavy-duty trimmer that I put a steel blade on the bottom and cut, and that'll work. It's too much for a string trimmer to really do it. Really the best way for it to go, I have a machete here. This is the number 2 best way, and unfortunately the number 1 best way is a tool that's actually a Japanese tool design with a handle and then with a sickle blade on it, almost like the one you see, look at the Soviet Union with a sickle kind of thing. But I can't find mine right now, but this will work plenty good. Before I start though, I always make sure I have heavy boots on because I'm going to get swinging and flailing this thing and who knows where it's going to go. So I want to prevent injury. I also wear some good leather gloves. So the only thing you really have to watch for is that these do not propagate. With all these cute flowers on here, you don't have to worry about them dropping seeds and spreading, at least with this variety here. What you do have to worry about though is if you cut too low within what, 4 to 6 inches, Brenda, down where the root is, then those places wherever they drop, you're going to get new plants growing.
Yeah,
so.
This is a Bocking 14. It doesn't propagate by seed, but it does propagate by root. And if you have a little tiny piece of root that gets in the ground, you will have a Comfrey plant with a deep root that's hard to get out. So you kind of guard those roots. You don't want to chop them up.
All right, well, I've got 8 or 10 bees on here right now. I'm just going to like, all right, fellas, or ladies, probably ladies, huh? It's time to go. And then I usually just kind of pick it up and get under it a little and chop. And it comes pretty easily. The biggest challenge is just getting the old ones out of the way so that your blade is clear. Again, trying not to get too close. And that's kind of a fresher one there. So that's about all that I'll cut on that, and let the rest go, and then we'll gather these up and they'll go for processing. Brenda, so what do you have in mind for them?
The first thing I'm going to do is, one way I chop them up and use them as a mulch.
Okay. Well, we're going to see the mulch magic coming here next. All right, well, we tried the lawnmower, and you can see it just doesn't do the kind of job you want. It will cut down, but it just mulches it. It's not good. So here's something else we're going to try, and they're both the Ego brand. The mower is, and this is also. Again, we're not sponsored or anything, but our son is big on these. I think he gave them to us. So let's give these a try, see how it goes. Yeah, it's not bad. Pretty good. And I think as many of them as we have to do in the orchard.
Save your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like 40 of them.
Out pop-up.
Yeah, don't want to wear out pop-up. All right, so hedge trimmer it is for the day. One thing I do wear if I'm going to be picking up Comfrey and working with it are my little sleeve protector things to protect my arms, and gloves. They don't have thistles, but they have those little tiny hairs, and it can just make you scratchy and itchy and uncomfortable. So these really protect my arms. My daughter actually got me these for Christmas. Isn't she sweet? So I'm just going to pick up the stuff he cut and kind of throw it around a little bit more. And this is what I've done the most with Comfrey. I chop it all over the grass and then chop it up and mow it and then put it on my gardens for mulch and fertilizer. It's a dual purpose thing. So I just kind of get it all scattered over, so I'm picking it up evenly with grass.
So what do you think about the mower?
I like it. It's very nice. It's quiet. It's not quite as powerful as the gas one. Like if you have wet grass or wet leaves and stuff, it can clog up and not go. But overall, I like it. I mean, you have to replace the battery when the battery goes dead, but you have to pour gas into a gas one when the gas runs out.
Yeah.
So 6 1/2 doesn't have another, but I really do like it.
It's good for us to have both.
Yeah, it is. It actually is. Now this, my daughter gave me these, but my son gave me this for Christmas.
Yeah.
So they know what I like. So now I have a bag full of goodness. The grass and the Comfrey all chopped up and mixed together. And I'll write down below all the minerals and things that Comfrey has in it that most things don't. That makes it such a good fertilizer.
It looks just like grass to me. I don't see anything
But it's
else.
nice that Comfrey's all chopped up, so it'll start releasing that stuff faster and start decomposing. So it's a great mulch for the beds and fertilizer.
Wait, why did you switch to the to the Honda.
Well, the electric one just couldn't quite handle it. I think because the Comfrey is so wet and so heavy, it couldn't get enough suction and they kept clogging up. So I have done it in the past where I've let the Comfrey lay on the grass and dry and then mow it. The electric one could probably handle that. It can't quite handle this much wetness. This thing can. So
well, the good
sorry,
news
Alex.
though is that for the trimming, the Ego worked really well with the hedge trimmer. It worked better than the machete.
Well, and I've done a ton of mulching where I put dried leaves on the grass.
Yeah.
And mowed that with the electric and it worked just fine.
Yeah.
But I think this wet, heavy, chunky Comfrey is just a little too much for it.
Okay.
So I tried, Alex.
In all fairness too, the lawnmower is designed to cut grass.
Yeah, I'm pushing a little too far.
Yeah.
So,
maybe.
but this can handle it, no problem.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Now, if you don't want to go to the trouble of mowing, mulching, and doing all this, you can just cut the Comfrey and lay it on the beds. It'll take a little longer to decompose, but it works fine. And we have done that with the fruit trees. We just lay it all around the fruit tree, and as it rains, the minerals and stuff come out of the Comfrey and go down and fertilize the fruit trees.
That's chop and drop, right?
Chop, that's a pure plain chop and drop. So, and this is a chop and drop, just really, really chopping. So,
Minced.
what's that?
Yeah, but minced.
Minced. But for me, the way I want to put it on the beds, I wanted to have the minerals and stuff, everything available pretty quick. So I'm chopping it. So I did some mowing and mulching, and I'm going to put that on probably on our raspberry beds because they're just about to start producing berries. So, but now I want to chop up just Comfrey, no grass. So I have a big pile of Comfrey here. I'm going to chop it up and I'm going to make something called Comfrey tea. Now this is something I haven't ever done. You put Comfrey in a bucket, make sure it stays submerged with a brick or something, and put some water in. And then you let it sit for a while. Some people say a week, some people say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it depends. Until it's really good, slurry, and stinky. And then you strain out the liquids and keep the, the yucky stuff in the bottom.
So you saying you don't taste it?
Not that kind of tea. It's for the tomatoes and the peppers and the cucumbers. But you can put the sludge that's left on the bottom on the compost pile because Comfrey is also a compost activator. It's so high in nitrogen, it fires up your compost. So you can chop a bunch of Comfrey and throw it in the compost pile too, or chop it in the lawnmower and put it in the compost, and it'll get the compost fired up. So I mean, it's got a lot of purposes.
So you're going to chop it with the mower. You know they make chopper shredders.
Well, we don't have
with
one.
a big funnel on the top.
Yeah, but we don't have one.
No, we don't.
So the mower is what I use.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to chop up just Comfrey, and I'm going to make some Comfrey tea. And I'm going to bring you back in a couple weeks, and we're going to see how stinky it is if we can stand it. But when you use it, then you do dilute it. I'll tell you more about that. So let's see if I can get this chopped up. Let's see how much we have. I have a little bit of grass in here, but it's mostly Comfrey.
So wait a minute, I thought you were going to have a whole, after you chopped all of that up, you have just...
I have enough to make one batch of Comfrey tea.
A quarter of a bucket.
Yeah, you only want it to cover like the last bottom 2 or 3 inches. And then I'm going to take this out, fill it with water, and try to find something to submerge it so the stuff stays under the water and doesn't mold.
Well, we can put a brick in there.
Yeah, but it's so wide, a brick won't hold all of it. We'll have to figure it out.
I have big bricks.
Big bricks, okay. I'm not going to put this on super heavy. I'm using it more as a fertilizer than a mulch. It'll be a slight mulch, but I have a serious violet problem in my raspberries. They're kind of like mulched with violets. But I just want to give them a little boost of something as they're growing their berries.
So it is dual purpose though.
Yeah, yeah, it'll mulch a little bit, but I'm not putting it on heavy enough to really keep down the weeds. It might a little bit, but I want more of the fertilizer. There's a little new one coming up for next year. These are the blackberries, and they are loaded. The red raspberries, winter was hard on them. The black raspberries, winter was hard on them. It didn't seem to hit the blackberries at all. They're very healthy. I lost a lot of canes in the red and black raspberries. The canes that were supposed to be having berries this year. But the plants aren't dead totally because there's new canes coming up. So we might do more to protect them this year in case we have another bad winter. But we should have berries next year.
So -10 was just too much.
-10 and wind. And I mean, the tunnel would block the wind a little bit for them, but not enough. So we might have to protect them. Those and my lavender. Those are the things that really got hit from the winter. And this is handy, having the pathway between these big enough for my golf cart to go through.
Oh yeah, I planned that.
Yeah, we planned it that way. We didn't. Now I'm not putting any right in there. Those little sticks right there indicate yellow raspberries that I planted. The one video we asked about people about yellow raspberries, and everybody said they're delicious. So I have some new yellow raspberries planted, and hopefully we'll have some of those next year. I'm anxious to try them. All the people that said they love them, they must be amazing. So I'll just get the rest of this put around the raspberries, and we're gonna make comfrey tea. Tea time, a different kind of tea time. This is it.
Yeah, I see a new kind of raspberry in there.
You talking about this?
Yeah.
I don't always take the seeds off my asparagus, and the birds seem to eat them, and we now have asparagus all over the farm.
I mean, literally, it's a half a mile to the edge of the farm on that trail.
We'll be walking along, and it's like, oh, there's an asparagus. So, it's not bad. Asparagus is really
That
yummy.
soon may be on the Pennsylvania invasive species list, originating from our farm.
From the Wardenberg family farm. But I said about the raspberries, this right here is a cane that should be filled with berries and leaves for this year. But the wind was too much. But the plant isn't dead. And see, here's a branch that kind of made it, part of it made it, and there's berries on it.
Yeah.
But they should be lush and green and loaded with black raspberries.
Isn't that part of the joy of gardening, that some years things don't, and then the years that they do, then you celebrate all the more.
True, because we've had a lot of good years with red raspberries and black raspberries. Sometimes so many we can't
But
handle
you can
them.
never take anything for granted.
No, because it can be gone.
Yeah.
And they only grow on second-year canes. So these are the canes for next year. So these are the ones we'll be protecting to hopefully get a bumper crop next year.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to see that the plants didn't die, because all I saw was the dead canes and thinking, oh, was it too much for the whole plant? But there's lots of raspberries coming next year.
Okay.
So I pointed out these are good to wear with comfrey. I probably should be wearing them more often, even just regular gardening. I tend to get all scratched up and banged up. So I should be wearing these pretty much every day when I'm in the garden. So lesson learned. They really do work.
Then you'll be like me, wearing long sleeves.
Well, the thing is, though, you take them off and you're still in a tank top.
Ah.
If you've never watched us very long, I tend to get very hot. So I'm always in shorts and a tank top, and he is more on the quarter side and wears long sleeve shirts, long pants. We always look very different together. So there's my beautiful chopped up comfrey. I'm going to fill it close to the top with water. Now we just have to figure out how we're going to hold this down. And I wonder how stinky it gets. Okay.
You're going to leave it there next to the cows.
Maybe I should just leave it here.
Yeah?
Well, I don't know if I want it in direct sunshine. I have to look that up. I think it's better in the shade if it's not like in direct sunlight, but it is actually like cooking. So, but we have to figure out how to hold the comfrey down.
All right.
The way I hold the leaves down under the water, I got creative. I use a Frisbee. I just put a Frisbee down on top of the leaves and put a brick on it. It holds all the comfrey leaves under the surface of the water. And within 6 to 8 weeks, you get it out and you strain it. And where I like to keep it is in the barn. It's not in the sunlight, and it's not as hot in there as it is out like in the sunshine. And it's kind of out of the way. And if it does start to stink, who's going to notice? The cows? So that really works for me. But then after I strain it off, I'm ready to put it in the garden. So to finish telling you about Comfrey tea, here's a batch we made, and to use it, I'm going to dilute it. It's really strong. You don't want to put it on straight to the plants. It'll be way more than they can handle. So I'm going to mix 2 cups for a 5-gallon bucket. So I'll put 2 cups of this in, fill it to the top, and I'll show you how I water some plants with it.
So I assume everybody by now knows that this is an agricultural tea.
You don't want to drink this. That'd be pretty daggone disgusting.
Yeah.
To water it, I just keep a 1/2-gallon container handy. And I'll put like a 1/2 gallon of this on each plant, maybe once a week or once every other week, whenever I remember to do it, really. I'm going to start with my tomatoes. So the tomatoes are looking really good and they're producing like crazy, so it's a good time to feed them. And all I'm going to do is slowly pour it around the base. Let it soak in real good. And he'll have gotten a nice little snack today then. And give me even more tomatoes, hopefully. And that's Comfrey tea. You can use it on anything. And I usually do on the weak side. You know, they give different amounts of ratios, how much to mix to it to water. I go on the light side. I'm just so afraid of burning my plants or hurting my plants. Figure they get the value, it's just might not be too strong. One other place I like to have Comfrey is alongside my chicken yard. It's right along the fence on one side, and in the spring when there's nothing else green to eat, they do like eating the Comfrey. They like it, but I don't think they love it. But in the springtime, it's usually chawed all the way back, everything they can reach. And I do the same thing with this I do with the stuff in the orchard. 2-3 times a year, summer, I'll chop it, take it out, throw it on some grass, grind it up, and put it down as fertilizer and mulch. So it's a very handy plant. And once in a while, I'll grab some and just throw it in and they'll eat it. But they don't eat a ton of it. But it's pretty too. It just makes a nice beautiful fence line between the Comfrey and the false sunflowers. It's a nice fence line. And the chickens like it.
Your girls are coming to root for you.
They think I have a treat. Sorry, girls. No treat. I gave you a treat earlier. It's hot, huh? So I hope you enjoyed the video about Comfrey, and I hope it answered some of the questions you had. If you have any other questions, put them in the comments, and if I can answer them, I will. I don't know everything about it, but I know it's very helpful. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.